Today I'm going to show you how to do a classic smoky eye using the new Zoeva Smoky palette. I'm going to start off by priming my eye using my MAC Pro Longwear paint pot in the colour Painterly. I'm just using my ring finger to apply this. You can use a brush as well, it makes no difference. And I'm taking that over the mobile eyelid and all the way up to the eyebrow, and I'm also taking that underneath the lower lashes, and this is just going to prevent any of the eyeshadows from creasing. So this is the new Zoeva Smoky palette, and it's got a range of matte, pearl and metallic finish eyeshadows. So as you can see, you've got a nice array of colours to create a nice smoky eye. I'm starting off by taking this camel colour called Sweet Smell, and I'm using a pencil brush to apply this. From the outer corner of the eye, I'm dragging the brush downwards and it's just going across the top lash line on the outer third. And I'm also working that through the socket line, just above the natural crease of my eye. This is a great smoky eye if you've got mono lids or hooded eyes, because by pulling this colour through where the socket should be, you're creating the illusion of a socket. So that's why it's ideal for those kind of lids. If you've got heavily deep set eyes, then this probably wouldn't be a great smoky eye because it's only going to make your eye look even more deep set. Now I'm going to take this silvery taupe shade called Soul Searching, and on a flat shader brush we're going to apply this just to the mobile eyelid, filling up to where we've taken the brown shade and then down towards the inner corner of the eye. I always pat the colour on twice just so the intensity of the eyeshadow comes out a little bit more. Next I'm going to mix these two browns together, so we're taking Sweet Smell again and Ashes Awake, and on my pencil brush we're going back over where we applied Sweet Smell earlier. So I'm using a light hand with my pencil brush just to map in the shape, and as you can see we've pulled it up from the outer edge and then going through the socket line again, so we're creating a sort of half V, half C shape. I've cleaned off my pencil brush onto a tissue and I'm now using that to blend the colour out. The reason I'm using a pencil brush over a fluffy blending brush is because I don't want to disperse the colour too far out, I want to keep it roughly where it is. So if we use the pencil brush we've got more control as to where the colour's being blended. Next I'm taking this kohl pencil by MAC and it's in the shade Smolder. You can use any soft black kohl pencil as long as it's easy to smudge. To start with we're going to be lining the top lash line just on the outer third. It's easier if you pull your skin tool and just run the pencil along. You don't have to be too neat about it as we are going to be blending it out. This is going to be darkening the areas that we've applied the two brown shades. So you want to trace from the outer corner going up and around into the socket line. Again, use a light hand to do this as you only want a fine amount of the product on there, you don't want it to be too heavy. Then using a small soft brush we're going to blend this colour out. You want to use small motions when doing this as we don't want to blend the colour too far out. We want to keep it in the position that it's in again, but we just want to smoke it so it's nice and soft. We don't want it to look like a pencil line that we've drawn on. So once you've softened all through the socket line, you want to work your way round and then onto the top of the lash line, dragging the colour downwards, and then just work it very finely towards the inner corner of the eye. Going back to my kohl pencil, I'm taking that underneath the top lashes, so this is to tight line the eye, and then I'm also just darkening along the top lash line again on the outer third. Next I'm taking that kohl pencil along my waterline, so I'm just gently pulling down the lid and running that along. Along the top lid I like to get right between my lashes, so I'll often put the pencil there and blink on top of it so it just works in between the lashes. And then I also worked that pencil close to the lash line on top. And again I don't need to be neat about this as I'm taking an angle brush just to blend that out. Same as we did before, pull the skin taut and then work your brush in feather motions just over the pencil, and this is just going to soften it, smoking it out. Just be sure not to work the colour up too high as we just want it to line the top lid. Underneath the lower lashes I'm taking a mixture of the two browns again on my pencil brush and I'm just softly running that underneath. I do apologise, as you can see it's jumped to looking darker, which is actually how it does look, it's just that my lighting keeps changing, so 1 minute it looks really light and then it goes back to how it should look. I'm mixing together Ashes Awake and Real Light on an angled brush, and I'm going to be pushing that colour over where we've applied the kohl pencil. This is going to deepen that smoky appearance and it's also going to set the pencil in place for us. So you want to work your way along from the outer corner all the way along to the inner corner. We're also going to take that colour through the socket line on our pencil brush. We're going to do a small C shape from that very outer corner round to the socket, and then with a feather light touch we're going to drag that colour through the crease ever so slightly. Using a very light touch we're going to just gently pull the colour outwards, and then this is just going to start to give us that smoky appearance. Because we've got the transition shades underneath, this is going to help the blending process. But remember to adapt this to the amount of space you've got between your eyelid and your eyebrow. I'm using the camel colour again on a clean pencil brush, and we're working that on the outer side of the dark eyeshadow, and this is going to create a bit of a gradient. So going backwards and forwards with our pencil brush, just softening that towards the eyebrow, but we're not going as high as the eyebrow. Taking Ashes Awake and Real Light on our angle brush again, we're going underneath the lower lashes this time. I like to use a wiggle motion with my brush just to work it onto the skin between those lower lashes. And then the same as we did with the top lid, we're taking the camel colour on a pencil brush and we're smoking out underneath the lower lashes. We want to go a little bit smokier than this, so over the transition camel colour that we just applied, we're going to mix together the two browns again, and on the pencil brush we're working that over the top of the camel colour. Again, the reason we apply the lighter base underneath is so that the blending is a little bit easier. I'm using my Shu Uemura eyelash curlers to give them a good curl. And then I'm taking an Eyeko mascara in I Do, and that's going to give me a nice inky black appearance to my lashes. This is a carbon black water resistant mascara, and apparently it also promotes lash growth, so that's good. So on top of my mascara lashes, I'm going to be applying these Falsies by ND Makeup, and I have a tutorial on how I apply eyelashes if you would like to see. I will put the link in the description bar. And then to finish off, I just smudged a little bit of the two darker eyeshadows underneath the inner corner of my eye. And that is my classic smoky eye complete. Unfortunately the light tends to drain a lot of the colours, so you can see it better in this photo. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you have. I will put a link in the description bar to the Zoeva Smoky palette, so make sure you check that out. And if you've missed any of my previous tutorials, you can click on these now and it will take you to them. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.